I've come to realize how important us as founders are to be a megaphone for our values, but we're a broken record megaphone. We have to keep reiterating them all the time. Welcome to Outsource to Profits. I have a fantastic returning guest because we are re-recording. Ben, tell the world what you do and who you serve and how you help the world.
You can re-record 500 times. Love spending time on this podcast, Jamie, spending time with you. I joke that I ask questions for a living. My goal ultimately as a podcast host, as a podcast guest, as a marketer, as a community builder, it's to ask questions, diagnose concerns, make connections, and just do the best I can as a curious human being to get better every single day. And that's a gist of what I do.
Fantastic. Now, we are going to talk about being a lighthouse, being a magnet, and the net positive this has on your business. And specifically, I'm going to tell a story around talent acquisition, bringing in the right people around you. In my first agency, this is the dawn of content marketing, and we went crazy. We were producing more content than anyone in the sales training space. And we're probably in year 4 or 5. And we had this beautiful new office in Midtown Toronto. It had a balcony, whiteboard painted walls, all open concept. And I'm working at my desk one day, and a lady walks in the door and says, "Listen, I've been watching your content, and it's so incredible. I need to work here." I'd never had something like this happen to me. And immediately, I didn't have an open role. There was no need for the role. I interviewed her, and just like the fact that she was so spontaneous and curious and aggressive at the same time, it's like, "You're hired." And she became a fantastic sales professional. She's gone off to an incredible career in sales. Long and the short is, it was the first light bulb moment for me that what I was doing online and being a magnet and sharing my ideas and best practices wasn't just about driving leads. It was about acquiring the talent around me to scale. So Ben, what is it that is holding back the founders that you work with or meet to understand that the way that they present themselves, whether it's online or offline, has a direct correlation to the type of people that will surround them and the difference between getting A players, B players, and C players?
Now, that's such a huge question because it could be a lot of things. It could be back in the old days, there was less competition in my field. I just ran traditional online ads, ran traditional job boards, made a post on my social media once it came out, and people came flocking in. It could be all sorts of it could be a mindset issue that for some reason they don't like their team. They didn't understand team culture, values. They didn't have a plan of aligning their values with the team members, with the people that they serve, the products they put out. It wasn't value centered, so suddenly their team members aren't in alignment, and it's a stressy mess. Could be all sorts of things.
Speaking of values, how are you shouting your values out into the ethos, whether it's socially or internally? Like, are you literally painting them on the walls? I've come to realize how important us as founders are to be a megaphone for our values, but we're a broken record megaphone. We have to keep reiterating them all the time. Yeah. So tell me how you're tactically maybe doing that.
Yeah, and I'm not shouting it from the rooftop or having big letters. Values aren't like a motivational just do it poster on the side of your office.
Got one of those in our washroom at the cottage. Yeah.
And I know we have quick, short hits in this podcast, but when I tell stories about wanting to be a basketball player when I was younger and having a jersey for every single day of the week and being the shortest kid in school, but still wanting to be the next Michael Jordan, but not only was I short, I was shy and a little awkward. So I got pushed around, I got beat up, I got bullied, and I felt very disconnected. And my dad had a little bit of a drinking problem, and lots of things in my life made me feel disconnected. Now, I'm going to cut a very long story short, but I'm embedding 2 main values of mine: growth mindset and connection. because I literally was small. So I developed a growth mindset because I wanted to be bigger. I wanted to be better. I wanted to stand out. I wanted to be a leader because I was afraid to open my mouth. And I developed the love of connection out of a place of feeling lonely and disconnected and not wanting others to feel that way. So I don't have to say the word growth. I don't have to say the word connection. A big value of mine's fulfillment.
Hmm.
What's the point in doing this if there's not people that we're helping and teams and families that are growing? Like, fulfillment's huge for me. I don't necessarily have to say this outwardly, but through my stories, through my examples, through my content, through the way of being in business, we embed these values. And I ask this question all the time. Is this in alignment with who I am and who I want to become? And if the answer is no, if it's not in alignment with who I am and who I am becoming, if it's not in alignment with what I've predetermined are massive values of mine, it's easy to say no to it. And if it's yes, and let's figure out if we can do it, because we only have so much time. But I always want to say yes or no. It's easy to say no if it's not in alignment. And if it is, you can say yes, and let's see if this is possible.
This is interesting because there are a lot of influencers or a lot of people that talk their values. But what you're in essence saying is your values, if done right, could be smelt off you like a cologne, in essence. Like you literally, it like emanates from you. Can you actually see it happen in real time? Like, have you ever watched internal teammates change the way they do things or act differently in a positive way around you over time? You're like, because I see it in my children. If the way, because I'm around them every day, they might be doing one thing one way or acting one way. But if I keep showing them my way, it's like they're using my language back to me or my actions back to me. And you're like, oh my God, I have a little mini me. They picked it up. Have you ever seen that in the office?
Yeah, one of my favorite testimonies in my community, Grow Getters Only, is Ruth. And she said it's okay to share her name. But Ruth said, Ben, this is like business therapy. And Grow Getters Only, we meet weekly. There's a lot that goes on there. But when we do hot seat coaching, the purpose of that is someone can bring a problem. And this is happening in a mastermind style, but this can happen in the boardroom as well. Someone brings a problem and everyone serves as the board of directors to solve that problem. But we don't go into solution immediately. We spend as much time necessary until people are out of questions, just asking questions. Now, did I try to build a group that was quote unquote business therapy? Not necessarily, but a lot of the problems aren't the first thing that comes out of our mouth. And if we ask further questions, we can diagnose the actual core root cause of the problem. Then when we go and just how we take an MRI right before we get diagnosed. If I got diagnosed a bunch of medicine without an MRI, I'd be very concerned. We go and we ask lots of questions first, and then we get to the root cause. We can solve that problem. And then what people say is this is like business therapy. But truly, it's just creating a safe space to bring your problems to the table and connect the dots with each other, which is what I'm trying to do in a peer-to-peer kind of group like that.
Fantastic. What tactile things? So you're sitting, imagine you're in an EO group and you've got your fellow founders sitting around a table, and some of them have a bit of a rotten culture, or they've got talent churn. People are voluntary and involuntary churn, and I've had this. I've had multiple partners through multiple agencies, and I've had one partner. We were kind of yin and yang in the way that we treated employees, and I would have these employees come back channeling to me. They're like, we like that you're a mentor type person, and this person's kind of a tyrant. Well, anyways, long and the short is, what would you say to your fellow founders tactically that they can improve themselves to create the culture that will emanate people wanting to be around them?
Yeah, I like using, this is a whole long marketing discussion, but I love using the term be the center of gravity, because gravity, it's not like they're tying you down and pulling you with a rope. It's not like they're forcing you or screaming, come back down here. You naturally come back down. Be Attract people in. Don't pull and force them in. Gravity might not be the best example because you have no choice. But if you have an aura, a confidence, a leadership, if you are a selfless leader and you lead from the bottom, it's just what's going to happen is people are going to gravitate towards your leadership. They're going to become better leaders. Everyone on the team's a leader because you created a center of gravity that this is the spot to be. This is the place to spend time. I'm the person that you can trust. And the person that's trying to force and push, they're having the reactive version. People are actually don't want to spend time with them because they're just trying to push their plan. And I don't know, it's different leadership styles. There's certain scenarios where you need someone who's just going to call the shot. That's how we're doing it. No conversation. But in most team environments, having that conversation is way more important than just making a decision for everybody.
This is fantastic. Ben, how do people get a hold of you if they want to learn more from your management style?
Yeah, I mean, easy peasy. We mentioned Grow Getters Only, so let's go there. First, subscribe to this podcast. Click like, comment, the whole shabam.
What a giver. This is great.
Type in Grow Getters Only wherever, just Google it. Or if you want to listen to my podcast, you just type in Real Business Connections wherever you found this. So 2 terms you can Google, Grow Getters Only or Real Business Connections. And there's a lot to learn there.
This is fantastic. Great seeing you again.
Yeah, always.